Hey everybody, this is Eric Voracek here with an episode of Video Game Hour on the After Dark on the Phantom Zone Network. Tonight we've got three other people with me, and they are going to talk about the video games as well. Who else is here with me?
I'm a Bugsnax Stan account, Hunter Davenport.
Oh boy. I am God, I can't follow a Bugsnax Stan account. I'm your favorite Alan Rickman impersonator, Emmet Watkins Jr. How's it going, y'all? That's the vibes I'm getting from this opening, where it's like walking to Alan Rickman's couch. You're here with Alan Rickman.
I'm Lou Gonzalez, and I'm the person Hunter tricked into buying a bundle of furry games.
You're welcome.
Yeah, how is that a plethora of garbage going for you, Lou?
It's 90% like furry romantic sex games.
Hey, wait a minute. Whoa. Oxen
No.
Free is in that bundle, all right? You just gotta dig for it.
One game does not make it a non-furry bundle.
Is that the racial injustice bundle?
Yes.
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 Oh, okay. There's some decent ones in there.
I played Super Birdie World, which was fun for a little bit. Or
Is
you get
that
to play
exactly what it sounds like?
You get to play as oh my god, I just forgot.
Bernie Sanders?
Bernie Sanders. Like seven other Bernies went through my head. And
Yeah, I was thinking of the Sesame Street one.
Yeah.
Really? So it's just Super Mario Brothers, but you're playing as Bernie Sanders.
Yes. And you're stomping on capitalists, I think.
That's
Okay.
amazing.
And I think Trump is the Koopa.
Wow.
Damn.
That game's
So-
dated.
So who are you saving from the castle?
I did not get that. far.
Alexandria Cortez.
That works.
My
Yeah,
that's what I guess.
my wife's friend ran into her yesterday. I live in the DC area, and my wife's friend was walking her dog and ran into AOC walking her dog.
And if I ran into AOC, I might just like melt. I don't think I'd survive that encounter.
Yeah.
So what has everyone been playing recently?
Oh.
Well, you go ahead if you want to go first.
No, actually, you know what, Emmett? You go first because you tease something that I'm genuinely curious about.
All right. Fair enough. I figured that was coming. So basically, everyone knows me as Mr. Vita Man, correct?
Yeah. As long as I've known you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's part of the brand at this point. There's been a Vita game that I've had my eyes on for a really long time that I didn't want to pay for it full price on PSN, so I've been waiting for it to go on sale somewhere. GameStop had a buy one, get one free sale on Vita games, so I finally picked it up. So I've been playing Lego Avengers on my Vita.
What?
Oh, you have the right person on your thing. I love the Lego games.
Yeah. See, here's the weird thing. I've purchased a shit ton of Lego games. I think I own like 4 or 5 of them. I own like half of the Lego Dimensions packs. Never played a Lego game.
What?
Really?
So, like the first Lego game that I beat, I think, what is it? Lego Superheroes with my little brother on PS3 like years and years ago.
Oh my god.
Back when he was young enough, like that was so long ago that he played The Last of Us 2 with me this week. So if he's into that now, you can imagine how long ago that was.
Wow.
I think I've platinumed every comic book Lego game.
Jeez, that's a lot.
You have a lot of dedication.
Yeah.
Well, they feed into like the OCD gamer in me, where there's so many collectible things, where it's just like, I just need to get all the things because I need to get all the characters and I need to get all the mini kits.
Yeah, see, that's me right there. That's why I like the idea of the Lego games, but I never picked them up for whatever reason. But I love those collectathon platforming games. I just eat those up. So, I mean, it started when I think it's not Ninjago. The Lego game that they released for free because, stay inside for the virus and all that stuff. Yeah. I played a little bit of that and I was like, this is fun, but it was also free. So I was like, I've had my eyes on Avengers Lego for Vita for a while because it's the only Lego Vita game that actually had the full open world that they have in a lot of the other superhero Lego games.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that one in particular is the movie Marvel MCU Lego world.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to the, I think just 2 Lego Marvel games, which is more comic booky.
Yeah,
Mhm.
the second one has Hellcow in it, so it automatically is the
Yes.
best
Yeah.
available. Yeah,
It also has Capwolf, so I mean,
that's true.
Yes, it does have
That's true.
Capwolf.
Yeah,
it's pretty great.
it's very weird because now correct me if I'm wrong when I say this. This Lego Avengers actually has literally audio from the movie, so it starts with the opening scene from Age of Ultron, and it has audio from all the actors and stuff. But all the other ones are usually mute. Am I correct in that still being the case?
No, they started having them talk more. I think it really started with the Lego Lord of the Rings game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter.
I think the Lord of the Rings game actually had. I know the Pirates of the Caribbean one has clips from the movie.
Yeah, the Lord of the Rings ones has actual audio from the movie as well.
Yeah, what they started doing with the comic book ones, I know, is they've started to get some of the people to do extra voice stuff. So I played. The newest one was the Lego DC Villains, and there's like a CW thing. And Brandon Routh does like the Atom, and he does another character. I think he does Superman as well. And
I'm pretty sure there's some sort of contractual obligation there because if I remember correctly, with the first Injustice game, there was an Arrow skin for Green Arrow.
Stephen Amell did the voice for it. Yeah, and the Lego, I think it's Lego Batman 3. There's an Arrow DLC, and he did like new voice work for that, and he does it in the new villain one too. But I think they get like all the voice actors, like Tara Strong does Harley. They get like all the old people. I think Matt Ryan does Constantine. I think they got Conroy to do Batman.
Yeah,
it sounds like
that sounds right.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ,
But
they really go ham on us.
Well, it's also like all these people, their kids and grandkids can play these games. So it's like a day of work. Not even a day. It's like 3 hours max.
I'm sure Kevin Conroy's like, hey, let's get a game my kid can play instead of freaking Arkham Knight and give them nightmares with the Man Bat.
Daddy, why did you break him that way?
Meanwhile, the kid explodes in 100 Lego pieces. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, that's great.
Getting up.
That's great. Yeah, exactly. So, are you planning to try and platinum this Vita Lego Super or Avengers game, Emmett?
I mean, I kind of want to, just for the pure audacity of them going all out. Because I remember back when all these Lego games were coming out, and it was always like the 3DS port or, God forbid, a Game Boy port or something like that. It was always like the worst port of every Lego game. And Avengers is the first one where they're like, you know what? Fine. Full open world, everything like the console version. I think I might do it because especially I said it was buy one, get one free. The other game I bought to get this one free was, what is it? The Lego the movie, the video game.
Oh wow!
I've actually heard that. I heard that's not bad.
It might not be bad on the full consoles. This is definitely like a 3DS. This is a 3DS port or something because it's nothing like the regular Lego games you're used to. This is straight up top down perspective. It looks like a Diablo game with none of the fun combat.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah,
I've always heard that
gimmicks.
It's really weird.
Yeah,
well, a lot of the first. I think Marvel was the first one. I don't know if it's Marvel or Batman. It basically took the original Ultimate Alliance setup, which is basically Diablo, and just made it Lego.
Huh.
So like those first games kind of play like that, and it took them like 3 games to kind of blow it out into what it is now.
Yeah,
I don't know. I played a lot of the Lego games when they were coming out because raising 2 boys and having a Wii, that was one of the safer choices. But yeah, I don't remember a Diablo-esque version of any of the Lego games. But I mean, I'm also old, so my memory is fading very quickly. So.
I think it might have been like the first Marvel game, or Lego Batman 2, because I think Lego Batman you could only play as Batman and Robin.
You know what?
I'd
say that's a weird type of aesthetic to give a Diablo game, but then I remember they made that Silent Hill game that's basically Diablo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
I think Book of Memories or something.
Yeah, it's called Book of Memories, and it's it's not completely like Diablo. I'd say it's more like what the fuck is that game? It's top down, kind of like an action thing. It's very weird.
That completely defeats the point of Silent Hill.
Oh yeah, I know.
Like
certainly.
Like,
It's bastardization, certainly.
I was very upset when it came out.
There's a demo. If you have a Vita, there's a demo for it you can try, and See to believe.
Yeah.
Nah. I think I'll pass. Well, speaking of Diablo-esque games, have any of you tried out the Minecraft?
No.
Yes.
I've
It's
actually heard
not
good
bad.
things.
Yeah, it isn't bad. I played a little bit of it too.
Yeah, like it's very much like, well, you gotta hope you find the right weapon that'll do well for you. But yeah, they did a really good job on it. The only thing that's disappointing is like it doesn't have destructible environments, which seems like the biggest misstep you could make with a Minecraft game.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just weird to me. Anything else that you've been playing recently on it that you wanted to bring to note?
I mean, outside of Lego Avengers, I've of course been playing Last of Us Part 2. I'm sure a lot of us have been up to that. If not, why is a big question I'd ask there. Other than that, I've been playing a lot of what else? Metro Exodus. I've been hopping back into just a little bit here.
I always had a hard time getting it. Like I've tried multiple times because it's been on Game Pass forever, but there's something about it that doesn't click for me.
I'll tell you right now, if you plan to come back, it's leaving Game Pass in literally like 2 days. So
Well, then
that's why I'm hopping back in. That's why I'm hopping back in, because I was like, man, I only got like 40% into it. Let me beat this game. So yeah,
damn,
trying to rush through. But yeah, what was why didn't you like it the first time?
I don't know what it was. It just something about it just didn't click. It might have just been the setup of like the mapping in it. It was something really stupid that I was just like, oh, I don't like this, and I just quit. Like I don't know what it was. It was something probably stupid and infinitesimal like thing that just didn't make any sense for most people. But there's just one thing that didn't click with me, and I don't know what it was. It just didn't hit for me for a first person like RPG-ish adventure game.
Yeah,
and I think I wanted it to be Fallout essentially, and it just wasn't enough like Fallout for me.
I think they didn't do a great job marketing that game either, because like I remember when that came out was back when I was still working at GameStop, and like no one touched it. There was like no advertisements for it, nothing explaining what it was. It was just like, is this a shooter? Is this like a Halo? Is this a Gears of War? People would think.
Well, no, Emmett's talking about the newest one, correct? The one that just came out for Xbox One.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that there was a
year.
Yes. Exodus?
That came out 3 years ago?
No, Metro Exodus came out somewhat recently. I want to say it was either last year or the year before.
Yeah, it was like a lead-in like Xbox One X game. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I remember now because that was such a huge deal because it was the 4K looks so good. I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it does. It's a beautiful game, and like it played well, but like I said, just I don't know exactly what it was, but it just didn't click for me for some reason.
I didn't even know that came out. I was thinking about like Redo or Last Light.
Yeah, Redux. Yeah.
And like I just feel like maybe it's like my experience there, like when I worked at GameStop, like they just never advertised it very well, so people didn't know what it was. And so it was always like second tier or third tier of like kind of like that genre of like sci-fi kind of shooter stuff.
Yeah. It's kind of, I mean, its biggest flaw is that it's just a little bit janky. I mean, it's trying to have the production values of like a Naughty Dog type game or something like that, but it still doesn't have, because this, I want to say the developer is based in the, not Middle East. What is it?
It's not Russia. I mean, I know it's
not
based
exactly
on Russian story. But
Isn't that Ukraine?
It might be Ukraine. It might be. Yeah, they're a Ukrainian studio, right. And you can tell because even if you turn on English voice acting, it doesn't quite sound right. And sometimes it messes with the emotion of the story and whatnot. But it's if you're into the story, it's easy to like let that part fade and also just remember this whole game takes place in Russia anyway. But
it's based on Russian novels.
Yeah, exactly. It's Ukrainian Maltese 4A games.
Wow.
Ukrainian Maltese, that was it. But I mean, it's still fun. It's just I just like it because it's a slower paced game, but it's slow for a reason. It gives you time to look at all the environment and to check all of your. You really have to stay on top of like the how the condition of your weapon and how are you stocked up on ammo. And I really love the stealth in the game too, because it's very much like, it's not cool stealth. It's like, it's kind of like The Last of Us actually, where it's about just staying alive and you're going stealthy to save ammo rather than to just be a badass. And I just like games like that sometimes.
That was one of the things with the first one that, like, I love the idea on paper, but the actual playing of it just made me so neurotic I couldn't get into it. The whole, like, well, your good bullets that do more damage are also worth more in trade, so use these garbage bullets that'll get the job done, but it'll take longer. And I just, it makes me nervous to be like, oh, I don't want to accidentally use my good bullets because I need to use this to buy filters for my mask. Like, I don't know, it made me neurotic thinking about fucking something up like that.
If it makes you feel better, they got rid of that mechanic completely in the third game, so you can play it without. Yeah, because in the third game, you're not even underground for.
Yeah, you're above ground.
Yeah, and you're traveling from place to place, so it wouldn't make sense if the whole Metro's idea is that the economy is based off of bullets. Once you get out, everyone else has a different economy. So it's.
What's funny is this sounds very like Eastern European to me. The idea that your bullets are worth more.
It totally is.
Sure, it is. It is super. And there's a lot of like jokes about like whiskey it's vodka.
I was gonna say
yeah, there's a bunch of jokes about vodka in the game, and literally, I think one of the first scenes is you just like knocking back a few with the homies. So it's kind of silly, but it's. I mean, I like it. One of the big highlights of it for me is that because it's kind of open world ish. Kind of in the way that if you ever played Uncharted Lost Legacy, where they put you in like this big open area for most of the game, they kind of do that where one chapter's in a big wide open space where you get some type of vehicle to drive around. You get a boat in the first one because there's a lot of water. You get a rundown van in the next area, and then you get to not quite side missions, but they just have like little areas for you to clear out. And that's my favorite thing in any game. Like, give me a whole bunch of outposts to just clear out, and I'll do it all day. And so some have enemies, some don't. Some are just story things, and some people on the train will ask for stuff. Like at one point, you pick up a little girl from like some bandit camp, and she in the next area, she's like, "Hey, I really would like my teddy bear that a monster took a couple years ago." And then you find that monster, you fight it, take the teddy bear back to them, and it doesn't like give you XP or anything, but it's just a really cool story moment.
You know, that's really shitty and short-sighted of you to kill that monster for that teddy bear. Maybe that monster needed that security more than that little girl did. I mean, she survived the nuclear holocaust, so that's very specious of people in that game.
Well, I saw no children around his nest, so that's on him.
You mentioning the open worldness of it, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, isn't it that you don't really have an auto map in that? You have to actually look at a map when you're going to where you want to go to.
Yes, like they have. It's one of those. It's definitely one of those. They have a map that you pull up, and it's like in world because everything's all immersive. That's Metro's whole shtick. So
you're making me want to play this.
It's really cool. It's actually it's leaving Game Pass, but it's on PlayStation Now for the next like 3 months, so you can download.
Well, yeah, everybody signed up for that.
I mean, hey, I signed up for it.
I'm busting chops, but like,
I'll keep it real with you. I signed up for it, and you can download all the PS4 games, so it's worth it for that alone.
Yeah, it is.
I was actually going to say, like, with you talking through, I'm like, did Division kind of keep this game from like catching on? Because I feel like I know Division's third person, but it's like it's a third person RPG shooter and like sort of sci-fi horror. Well, more sci-fi than horror.
The Vision's more of a multiplayer thing.
Yeah,
it's more MMO. Yeah, but like you can play by yourself, but like it's like I don't know. You're actually making Metro sound like way better, but like I feel like they're cousins.
Yeah, I think that's an accurate description to an extent.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah,
aesthetically, I think just aesthetically they're cousins. Gameplay wise, and all that stuff. Because even in Metro, you don't like. There's no like RPG systems or skill trees or anything. It's really just you're upgrading maybe your equipment and your gear, and that's about it.
There's a button where you pull out a lighter. Like that's
how burn away the
spider webs. Yes,
yeah.
I love that.
That just every time I hear that, I think of which Doom was it with the flashlight?
Doom 3.
Doom 3. Yeah.
Yeah, actually mentioning Division 2, that I'll go into what I've been playing recently. Division 2, actually, I bought that and Warlords or whatever it is of New York because it was like, I think it was like $25 or $30 on Game Pass, or not Game Pass, on Xbox. So it's like, I've been wanting to play a game like that for a while, and the first one, even though I only play single player because I have no friends, there's something about the grind with a game like that I really enjoy. And
love that first one.
The min-maxing of items and weapons and whatnot. Like, well, this isn't as good as this other one, but if I have this all in a set, it actually makes up for what I lose out on. And the story in part 2 is actually pretty good. Like, I've been playing it for like over a week now, single player, and I haven't run into any issues where I'm like, oh, well, I need to team up to play this. Like, it'll be challenging at times, but it's still rewarding single player. Like, it matches your skill level.
You can't do the grind by yourself. That's the
whatever.
thing.
I don't have the time for that. I'm a 42-year-old man with a family. So
I actually played all of the Division 2 by myself. So you can there was one boss fight that got me a hell of a lot of trouble, but other than that, you'll be able to go through it pretty easily. But the end of that game kind of frustrated me a little bit. That's all I'll say.
I mean, I know that's when after you beat the game is when there's these super soldiers that come in out of nowhere, and like apparently they're some of the hardest things in the entire game.
Well, it's less that they're hard. It's more that it's just like you beat the game and they're like, all right, good job. You beat the game. Now here's a whole nother version of the world, and here's a whole bunch of new content. And it's like, I just spent 25 hours beating your game. Like,
oh no.
Please let me have everything up front.
Nope. And now there's some new gear tier that you need to collect.
Exactly. Oh man.
The other thing. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing. Like, I was starting to get into Destiny 2 again for a bit, and then I'm at a point now where like I need to buy the expansions for it. And I'm like, I don't really want to at this point. Like, the game's fun and it looks good, but I like the grind also in Destiny 2, but I don't want to just beat like the story missions in like a day and be like, all right, cool, I'm done. Because having pretty exotic weapons doesn't mean anything if I'm not getting to use them on bosses.
I mean, if you're playing on PC, I think all the DLC is free, or not free. It's on sale right now because summer sale's going on Steam. So
okay,
yeah. Your PC overlords.
I'm just a one console house, so I don't have anything else.
But you got to jump on Destiny with Ice-T.
The other thing,
get new blood.
The other thing I jumped into today because it was on Game Pass is the what is it? The Messenger? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, you're so good.
Yeah, like at first I'm like, oh, this is really easy. I'm going to burn through this, and then I got to the halfway point. And does anybody else know about this other than Hunter and I?
I'm aware of what the twist is. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not, but I can't play it because my Xbox One X died.
So you start the game and it looks like an 8-bit or pseudo 8-bit like kind of homage to Ninja Gaiden, just not as tough. And you get to I'm guessing the halfway point, and you travel through time into the future, and all of a sudden it turns into a 16-bit game.
Yeah.
And
that's hilarious.
It's awesome. Yeah, and it looks great. Like, the animation in it is beautiful for a game that seems like it was pretty cheap, but isn't it a Devolver Digital game?
Yeah, they published it.
Okay, well then they always do a pretty good job. But yeah, I'm thoroughly enjoying it. Like, the mechanics are easy to get into. Like, it's not too challenging. It's just challenging enough. And like, if you can't figure something out, you're the one making the mistake. It's not game being overly hard on.
The crazy part,
Xbox only?
No, it's on Switch. It's on PC. It's on PlayStation 4. It's on everything.
Yeah, it's just happened to come out on Game Pass.
You know what the craziest part about the Messenger is? Mm-hmm. It's made on Unity.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't expect that one.
Yeah, it's made on the Unity engine. It's crazy.
That's insane.
The same engine that runs Virginia ran the Messenger. That's why.
Yeah.
She whiz. Oh boy, I actually want to try that one out. I think I have that game. I think I got it for free through Epic Store and from the Amazon Prime stuff too. So
there you go.
At some point I'm going to play it. I'm going to mess around and get it free on Steam or something too. I swear to God.
Get it free everywhere you can.
Yeah.
Kleptomaniac. The only other thing I downloaded today because it was on Game Pass is Streets of Rogue is what it's called.
What?
Yeah, what is that game? I keep hearing the title.
it's a roguelike, but
Oh,
it's kind of a twin stick action game.
Okay,
too.
this sounds like right up my alley.
I mean,
It's-
based on the name, it sounds like it's a goof on Streets of Rage.
It totally is, but it's RPG-ish, obviously, with it being a roguelike, but it has like mission structure, and it's just kind of goofy. Like you want to kill citizens that are in the town that aren't causing you any stress just to get items from them. Cool, go for it. Like, and then you can play it all types of different ways. Like if you want to be a hacker, if you want to be somebody who's stealthy, or if you just want to destroy walls, like, and kill everything. Like it gives you this freedom to do all this. But I only got to play it for like maybe 20 minutes. But yeah, it seems really cool, and it's on Game Pass. So if you have the ability to get that, check it out.
Oh, that I just got because I pulled up the Steam page and it says similar to Risk of Rain 2, and that's the
Oh,
they know what they're doing, trying to compare those two. So I'm gonna have to investigate this on Game Pass.
Yeah. So I was pleasantly surprised to find those two games today on Game Pass. But yeah, that's about it for me recently. I don't know about you, Hunter. What are you up to? Hunter?
Hunter died.
Oh no!
Oh, we lost Hunter.
I can take his place.
Yeah.
For now, I've been playing. I'm like halfway through Final Fantasy VII Remake. I did download Last of Us. That's my next game. Like I'm finally halfway through because I have time now. And I'm sure it's a little late to the party, but I love it. The voice acting is fantastic. It's weirdly feeling nostalgic, like for a game that looks so new and pretty. Like it's weird because like Final Fantasy VII was the first because my first system was like an NES, but like my brother gave me his PlayStation when he went to college and gave me his copy of Final Fantasy VII. So like that was like my first like real RPG. So
Okay.
wow. Damn.
so it's like so weird, and I love all the stuff that they've added. I was like, when everyone's like, "Oh, the game is as the first," because it's the first of 3 for this game.
Yeah.
It's like, how is this game as long as the entire original game? And like all the added stuff has been very fun. Like I like the added character that they've added, like that I've encountered so far. I like everything.
Is that the girl who's super thirsty for Cloud?
No, she's in the original game.
She's in the original.
Oh, I don't remember her.
There's some of the soldier guys they've added are so fucking cool.
Yeah, they like the one I encountered is like the douchiest, like motorcycle.
Yes. He's
Like,
amazing.
He's amazingly like a douchebag. And I like the way all the characters look, and the voice acting is phenomenal.
Yeah, it's really well done.
Something I'd been listening to another podcast that was talking about this game. They were bringing up the fact that like there's aspects of this Final Fantasy remake that might be hinting at this being like a parallel timeline to the original one.
I can't say anything.
I'm only halfway
Okay.
Can't say
Okay.
anything.
Yeah, I don't. If you can't say anything without spoiling it, cool. Don't worry about it. But
Yeah.
I thought that was a really interesting idea that they can be like, well, it's a remake of sorts, but it's not exactly a remake. Like if they're still managing to pay homage to that original game,
It's like the Watchmen TV show.
Yeah.
kinda. Well,
Yeah.
no, because the TV show was a sequel
It's
to
sequel to the
comic.
comic.
Yeah. It's just ignoring.
I
the
would
movie.
not compare the two. And that's
Okay.
that's without spoiling it. So
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
Fair.
I don't have a PS4, so when I finally get a PS5 at some point, I'll have to go back and play all this. And
But
I'm hoping at that point that you'll be at the point where you don't have to raise chocobos to get Knights of the Rounds.
no, you
'cause-
have to.
Fuck.
that's like and you have to rate. Yeah, you need to get that golden goddamn chocobo.
Yeah,
Ugh.
Eric, you don't understand. If I can't raise the chocobos, this whole series is for nothing. Like,
It can't be
It's
for
dead to
nothing.
you.
Just look at the chocobo.
yeah,
Like, it's like I look at people playing Pokemon. I'm like, bitch, I was raising chocobos way before you were doing your breeding programs.
Yeah, that was
farms.
with,
Like Ron
with you
Cookie, bro.
with you saying that Final Fantasy VII was your first like real role playing game. I guess like I had gotten a PlayStation as a birthday gift. I think it was from my parents, and the first game I got with it was Suikoden.
Oh
And
wow!
Yeah,
Whoa.
yeah. and so I was all on the hype train when
How
Final
old
Fantasy
were you
VII.
for that? Because like that's
I was
34.
I think I was 18. I was just at high
wow.
school.
Okay,
maybe?
so you were the right age. Because like any younger, and you probably would have been scarred for life.
Oh yeah.
I've seen some shit at 16. I can. I'm here.
Oh well, yeah. I was just saying, my brother is like the cornerstone of all this stuff. So like that game, and he also showed me my first anime, which was Akira.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Which I think I was 10.
You know what? I saw Die Hard when I was about 10, maybe a little younger.
Wait, what did you see when you were 10 or a little bit younger?
Die Hard.
Oh
Yeah.
God, okay, yeah.
That's not that bad. That's a callback to your Alan Rickman opening.
Actually, yeah, that's a good segue. But yeah, I've seen it. You would be surprised the type of shit. I remember not my little brother, my dad. God, I don't know how I mixed that up. My dad, he took me in theaters to see Cradle to the Grave when that came out.
What?
One, wow, weird movie. But what?
Yeah, because I don't know.
I think from the first Jet Li DMX movie.
I think
second
it's
first?
only because the other one wasn't Jet Li. I want to say it was Ja Rule or somebody.
Oh,
Wait, Romeo Must Die.
Must
is the
Die?
one I'm thinking of. Let me see. Let me type that in my very loud.
Cradle to the Grave is definitely a DMX movie, isn't it?
I thought
Yes.
Romeo Must Die had Jet Li and Mira Sorvino, or
Shit, it is DMX. What the fuck?
They did
Wow.
movies
Yeah,
together, right?
Romeo Must Die is DMX and Jet Li's first movie, and I guess Cradle to the Grave is their second.
It's by
Yeah.
the same director.
I think they're supposed to be are they the same characters?
They can't be, no, because DMX has a completely different gang with him. Gabrielle Union's all up in there.
Oh my
It's a
god.
parallel universe.
As weird as it is, I think I've seen all the DMX movies, and I don't think any of them are terrible.
well, I mean, he's a pretty good actor. He convinced people he was an FBI agent that one time.
Yeah.
Well, I saw him in the Seagal movie, and he's not the worst actor in that.
I remember being really excited for new DMX movies, and then Never Die Alone. Their trailers looked super scary to me in a way that I can't really explain. It just looked like, oh man, that's like real violence. I don't want that. I just want the action movie shit from Cradle to the Grave.
I mean, it's my dad brought me to see Aliens in the theater, so
Oh,
you know,
wow.
I was
Kurt.
basically a feral child when I was growing up. In comparison,
I think I've said it before. Like, I think I saw Predator when I was like 5,
Get the hell out.
and I was terrified in my room and would hide under my blankets because I was like, I don't think the Predator's heat vision can go through the blankets.
My God, you must have had lead blankets.
It's one of those things when you grow up in the Northeast and you got those hot boxes. You could watch like every movie channel.
You could.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, man. I think because my parents saw at an early age that I was a soft kid, so they were like, "He's not going to do anything if we show him this actual violence. It's not gonna. If we show him all this bad stuff, he's not going to reenact that. Look at this kid. He's a soft boy."
I think
it
Yeah.
sounds like they were focusing on the wrong aspect of that, though. Like, it's not going to cause violence. Instead of what type of emotional trauma are we causing to this child?
Yeah. Well, luckily the trauma faded away, so we're good.
yeah.
Or it's just buried deep.
I think I've told this story on the show before, but like when I was a kid, my father was watching Killer Clowns from Outer Space, just like around around us, and I think that scarred me into the human being I am today.
That's a movie that definitely bugged me. It's like that, Predator, and Puppet Master. For some reason, Puppet Master freaked me out more than Child's Play, and I think it's because they looked more like toys I owned.
I mean, I get it.
You are as soft as toilet paper if Killer Clowns scared you when you were a child.
You know what?
Good
You know what?
Lord.
I can top that. I read plot synopsis of some movies and then get depressed for 2 weeks. Like I read the plot of Funny Games and I was like bummed out forever.
No, you don't. No, you don't. I've seen that movie. Like, I enjoy that movie, but that's not something for everyone. So
I mean, I saw that when I was like, I was like 20 when I saw that. So like, this is a thing that lives with me forever. It's not just when I'm a kid.
I damn it. If you get a chance, Read the plot synopsis for the movie Salo, S-A-L-O.
Someone told me about that. So actually, because there was a weird conversation we had, because I was in a weird place like a couple months ago. There's this YouTube channel called Disturbing Breakdowns where literally all they do is tell you the plot of all these messed up movies. And for some reason, I wanted to know something about some movie. I forgot what it was. But I saw his video and I was like, oh, I don't have to watch it, but I want to know what happens. I'll just watch his video. And I got addicted for some reason. I watched like 10 of those videos in one night. And I was a husk of a man that the next day. I was like, I have discovered, because it's all fictional stories. I mean, wait, some of them were based off of true stories, but for the most part, they were all works of fiction. So it's not actually anything that should affect me. But man, I was like, oh my God, I can't do anything anymore. But Salo, that my friend told me about from that series, and I'm like, I'm never even watching the video breakdown of that because that just sounded awful.
Yeah, it's an adaptation of a Marquis de Sade story, 120 Nights of Sodom. But yeah, like I've seen that movie exactly once, and the whole time I was watching it, I was like, I don't know if I really need to see any more.
Yep, that and Irreversible, never watching.
Yeah, Irreversible's a tough one.
I'm good.
And a Serbian Tale.
I actually refuse.
Yeah, I'm not watching that one either, but that one seems like it's just stupid. Like they made that just to piss people off, it feels like.
Yeah.
There was an era of films that were like that. There was like that weird torture porn era.
Human Centipede.
I feel like that's almost a comedy though.
Yeah,
like,
but
in the concept.
Well, the first one seemed like it was taking itself seriously. I never saw these movies, but the first one, at least tonally from the trailers, seemed like they were taking it serious. The second one's just a snuff film.
Yeah, I feel like what's the one that what's his name did that Hostel, like that was like the cornerstone of those like torture porn stuff.
Well, that was Eli Roth trying to do a what's his face, Takashi Miike level film, and that just wasn't going to work because I mean Takashi Miike even makes an appearance in that movie. Like he's the Japanese guy who at one point is just in the sunglasses and says something vaguely kind of stereotypical Asian actually. Like as in like what you would expect somebody who made a movie from the 70s is like, oh, we have a wise
what a great
Japanese
movie.
man. Yeah,
I'm trying to think.
It's not great.
The only other movie I can think of that like it's a little different that's similarly to like super depressing is like Empire of the Sun, which is like a Christian Bale. Like Christian Bale's like what, like 10 in it?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
I remember hearing about the movie. And John Malkovich. It's like he's a
war orphan during World War II from England.
He's a British like person that lives there, and he gets separated from his parents, and he's living in China while the Japanese are invading China during World War II.
Oh, whoa!
Wow, what a great romantic comedy!
It's a Spielberg movie, though, so it's
a family movie.
Ben Stiller's in this movie. What the hell?
Yes, it's like one of those things where it's like because it's Spielberg, he got like an insane cast, and it did not do well because it's fucking just like horrendously depressing.
Well, it's a J.G. Ballard story, so it's and if you know anything about that guy, like but back to video games.
Those aren't video
games. Hunter, before you fell into the pit of darkness there, what have you been playing recently?
So the Steam Summer Sale is going on right now, and I got like 6 games, but right now I'm playing mostly Titanfall 2, and that game is so good, man.
Yes.
It is.
Yes.
That's my kink.
Yeah.
Titanfall 2 is just such a good multiplayer game. God.
See, I don't even care about the multiplayer on that. Like they got the single player storyline on that right.
The story so far is really good. I'm kind of switching between, but that man, just something about
man.
Have you never beaten it before, Hunter?
I've never played the story. I've only played the multiplayer.
Oh man, you're in for such a treat. It's so good. Anyways,
all the stuff with like BT and Cooper, like, it's a weirdly really well written game. Like, there's so much good dialogue in it. Like, BT is like somehow charming despite being like a 7-foot tall robot. It's so good.
Yeah,
I love that game.
And then
good as it
Have
is.
you beaten the game before?
Oh yeah, certainly.
Okay. I'm trying to think of a
Talk
way
around
to. There's one.
Are you talking about that
particular-
one set piece that everyone talks about?
Yes.
Yes.
That ends near the very end of the game, when BT gives you a gift.
Oh God, yes, I know.
Yes.
What you're talking about.
Yeah. Those two parts in particular are amazing. Like, Hunter, don't look anything up about the game, but I'm not sure where you are right now. Like,
I think I just got out of the sewers where you do the where BT gets taken by a claw.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I'm relatively early. Yeah.
Oh, so are you in the house or the place that builds homes? Because that level is pretty amazing too.
I'm at the assembly line.
Yes. Yeah, that level is so much fun, and the level design is so good on that.
It's
like
just like sliding around and shooting like NPCs are like really. It's like so much fun.
Yeah. Actually, I think it's the next area you go to is one of the most amazing things I think I've ever played in a first-person shooter. If I'm remembering correctly.
I don't know for certain, but I want to say that the moment that is next up for you in the next level is, I think it was a winner or at least a finalist for Giant Bomb's best moment of the year.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I remember Brad Shoemaker specifically talking about it so much. I'm like, all right, I need to see what this game is about. And I was like, yep, he was right. Yep, this is everything I wanted it to be. So yeah, just buckle in. You're gonna have a good time with that.
Oh hell yeah!
The only shame about that game is that for as cool as it is and how many new sucks, it's only like 6 or 7 hours total.
Yeah.
That's one thing. I'm hoping they come back with a bigger, better sequel.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, they're busy with Apex Legends, so they're making their money just like Valve does. So
I'm sure they're gonna come back to it, but now it's just way longer.
Yeah, Apex, it's good. Don't get me wrong, but like, man, I just prefer Titanfall 2 in a lot of ways because like I like really like shooters where you can actually like move around. So like my problem with Call of Duty is like you're so slow. I'm like I just want to run on walls and shit. Like,
see that's what makes Titanfall so fun. It's you can not kill a single person the whole match and have a bunch of fun just running, grapple hooking. Like I've done that multiple times in the game. And
did they do that with like 3 Call of Duties and everything?
They did because of Titanfall.
Yeah.
I feel like what was it like? It was like Advanced Warfare, Black Ops 3, and there was like another one that all did
Infinite Warfare, the one that everyone forgets but has the greatest single player campaign of any Call.
Yeah, it's got Kevin Spacey in it, unfortunately.
Wait, Kevin Spacey's Advanced Warfare. Infinite
Warfare.
Chris Maloney is in Infinite Warfare.
Isn't that the one that also has Kit Harington?
Yep, that's Kit Harington. Yep. Also, Claudia Black's in that one too, and I
so
like her.
Weird that they got that. I'm not complaining because like it's awesome, but
they needed an all-star cast, quote unquote.
Also, like, what has Kit Harington? Like, was he coming off of Pompeii? Like,
I think so. Yeah, he's making his comeback.
And now he's going to be a cameo in guy who was in 3 seasons of the show movie because he's Black Knight in Eternals.
I mean, I'm sure they
Rob's
did to him.
Yeah, the guy that plays Rob Stark is the lead.
Oh yeah,
that's true.
He's Icarus.
Oh, that's weird. I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
strange.
Huh.
I mean, hey, the game's still worth playing through. It has heavy Mass Effect 2 vibes, is all I'll say.
Yeah,
and
that's not a bad thing.
That's a good thing.
Not at all.
No, I love Mass Effect 2.
Yeah.
I've also been playing Metal Gear Solid 5. I really love that game.
Yeah, I have it. I need to jump back in. Like, it's something that like I got to the point where I thought it was the end, and then it's like, nope, let's go do all this stuff harder. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I haven't even touched it yet. I still need to come around to it.
That game is some goofy bullshit, but I really love it.
Is that Metal Gear all of them?
Yeah, all of them.
See, I made the horrible decision of making Metal Gear Solid 4 first and only Metal Gear I've played. So
that's
a weird feel.
I would say like I'm not a Metal Gear person, and the only one I remember, because it was I think the first one I played was maybe 3, which is the one that you start like on a boat.
2.
Yeah,
that's
2.
The first one I played.
Yeah, that was the one that had the demo that everybody bought Zone of Enders for.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know what's going on, and it just like it never clicked with me.
Oh God, dude! I'm such a Kojima fanboy. I think he can make anything, and I'll probably play it.
I love how he just slathered his name all over 5. He's just like, hey, guess what?
Well,
you
part of me thinks he did that because he knew it was coming.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sure he did. He's just like, let me just drag my big piece all over this game.
Like part of the room before you leave out of spite.
Yeah.
Kind of what it is. He marked his territory.
Oh, there's Otis.
Oh no. It's the intrusion.
Becomes that living Watch the Throne track.
Yeah, but yeah.
They heard us talking about DMX earlier.
Yeah.
Refritos.
But yeah, Metal Gear Solid 5 is great.
My biggest... Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to ask, like, because people keep saying that, like, the gameplay in that is, like, magnificent, and that's the biggest reason that people say I should play it. Is it like mechanically the shooting just feels good, or is it more of just satisfying stealth?
So
both.
Both. It's kind of really in depth in the things you can do. Like it's not. It's sort of a robust kind of like experience where you have so many options to you at every single moment. Like the cardboard box in itself has like 8 different mechanics.
Okay,
and it's awesome.
Like an easy thing to describe is like, all right, so let's say you were going through the game and you're doing a whole lot of headshots to enemies. There'll be a point where they'll all start wearing helmets.
Yeah.
Because you are using headshots so often on them. So that option is out of the way unless you send out guys that you Fultoned out of the game or onto your base to do a raid on their supply where they're getting helmets. So then you have to do this push-pull where you're like, well, do I want to do this on a regular basis and then eventually have to use resources I have to keep this from being stopped, or do I mix up what I'm doing every time so they can never figure out what's happening?
Yeah, it's so there's so much to do. At times it's like kind of weird, but man, like
plus you can get a dog with an eye patch.
Yes. You find a wolf pup in the wild, and then you put an eye patch on him, and that's how you claim ownership.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually secretly the guy running the entire game.
What is it, Silent Hill 3?
Yes.
Yes.
It's you.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying I got to get around to it. It sounds pretty neat.
Yeah, you should. You should. Like it's also just a beautiful looking game. Like, the environments aren't all that different. Like you only have 3 different type of areas that you go to, like deserts and jungle-ish, and I think that's really about it. And then sometimes base-esque areas. But yeah, that's really about it. But it's just the size of the areas, and like Hunter was saying, the amount of things you can do. I mean, you can come blasting in your helicopter playing We're the Kids in America, and it feels so good.
Oh man,
so good.
I can relive my Jimmy Neutron power fantasy.
I was just saying, I think you picked the wrong song. You'll be playing Ted Nugent and come in like it's Apocalypse. The greatest video on YouTube.
What?
You've never heard of this?
No.
So, this is so off topic, but there's a video on YouTube, and it's Ted Nugent. I can't remember the other guy's name. So there is a weird problem in the southern part of the United States where feral pigs.
That was crazy. All right, I'm gonna shut up.
There's a feral pig problem. So all these pigs get off of these super farms, and they go feral super quickly. I think it's Texas. They outnumber the people.
Oh God!
So
that's a great thought to have.
You can legally take a helicopter and shoot them out of a helicopter.
Oh fuck!
And it's like a 4-minute video of Ted Nugent and this other guy just shooting with giant guns, pigs out of a helicopter, which I do believe they then donate to homeless shelters.
The pigs get donated?
Yes, the dead pigs.
Okay,
For
I guess
food.
it makes sense. Yeah, it does make sense, but man, just make it at the store.
I think in the video they use what's this one of those Vietnam songs But like,
like some folks are born.
Yeah. Fortunate son. They roll up on Fortunate Son.
The more appropriate thing would be playing Long Tall Sally while doing it.
Oh God!
So yeah.
Or just any Slaughterhouse song would work.
Yes, yeah. Just, we can have Jesse Ventura in there chewing on tobacco, saying, "This will make you a goddamn sexual tyrannosaurus."
Yelling about aquatic werewolves.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and then moving back to Mexico to live with his 15 Doberman.
Yes.
Lou, did you have any other games you've been playing? Because you started to talk about Final Fantasy VII.
That's where I just started. I've been playing like a bunch of other random stuff from like Game Pass that I can use on my PC. It's like I said, my Xbox One X, which I didn't know was like a thing, that their HDMI. I guess it's like a problem with like one of the chips in there just like burns out.
Oh, nice!
Really?
That's great.
Only in the One X. So I've taken a One X apart now because to get it repaired by Microsoft out of warranty is $250. When I could charge it and buy a new one for $275. So what I did do is I took that 1 terabyte, because I think it's a solid state in there, or at least it's a hybrid. So
I think it's a hybrid. Yeah, solid state is.
That would be so expensive for a terabyte.
But that's the only thing in Xbox that you can take out and use on a computer. So I got next to that. So now I have like a shell. So I'm waiting till like my GameStops reopen, and then I can buy a pre-owned one and maybe swap the shells out.
So I did that with nervous.
I did like that with 7 360s that I got the Ring of Death on.
7? Did you say 7?
Yeah, like because that like first batch of 360s was so bad, or like that.
You got them back to back or over years?
I think I'm exaggerating at 7. I think it was like 3.
Okay, if it was 7, I would have just given up on life.
I would have been like, yo,
including friends that I also helped do it with. It was like 7. Like someone invested and bought a tool so that you could pop it open. The original 360 body, you needed a special tool, and like because that's how bad. Because the first 360 didn't have fans, so they all got red ranked. Every single original batch.
And they didn't use enough thermal paste, is what I think the problem was.
Yeah, they overheat, burn out.
If you actually bought 7 Xboxes, then you would have been the tool.
Well, I bought them, but I would get the money back because then I would return the other one.
Oh,
wow! You're
he's hustling.
I've heard so many stories because I used to be that guy too, having to trade in. Because I remember I traded in a PS3 that could only play digital games. But I only owned one disc game that worked, and so it would launch, and I was like, "All right, cool, I'm leaving." And then, like as soon as it tried to get into actual gameplay, it would just overheat and die. But it opened up the start screen, so I said, "All right, we're good, bye."
Like I said, I worked at GameStop for 5 years. They're a terrible company. I have no qualms about robbing them. They rob their employees.
I have no qualms about robbing a store. Lou Gonzalez, 2020.
When I lived in Pittsburgh, this is, mind you, over 20 years ago, because I wasn't even 21 yet. Because I wasn't 21 yet, and Pittsburgh isn't really a town to live in if you're under 21, if you live in the middle of nowhere like I did, I would buy a game from GameStop, beat it in less than 7 days, and return it for a full refund for a different game.
Oh, there was a room for you guys. It was
they used to do that. It's like you could return a game for any reason and get
they still do
full amount. Really? I thought it was only on
I played the entire PS2 library that way.
So I will say this. So if you buy a pre-owned game, you have 7 days to return it for your money back, no questions asked.
Oh, see, this was new games. This was way back in the day. Yeah, this was PlayStation 1, and like, oh, hey, Resident Evil 2, cool. Tore through that, 7 days, go get a new one. Because, I mean, I worked at a coffee shop, and then I went home, and that was it. Like, that was the extent of my life in Pittsburgh, was sitting in my ever more depressing room and just playing PlayStation 1 games as I lost touch with reality around me. But man, Wild Arms was fun.
Wild Arms is great, you're right.
Wild Arms for a wild time.
Yeah. So yeah, that was my taking advantage of GameStop because and the guys who worked at the GameStop I went to knew exactly what I was doing, and they're just like, "What do you want now?"
Yeah.
So,
There were people, because Ryan, who's on the comic show, we worked together in GameStop for like 2 years. And like we knew people by name. Like there was like, oh, it's this family. They buy like 7 games. They come back in 6 days and return them all for their cash. They're $12 back.
Nice.
And it's just like, and they would go between like 3 different GameStops, and it's like, yeah, whatever. But yeah, like we would work around. Although I do think it is funny, like every of all the GameStops I work at, the one that I worked at with Ryan got robbed 4 times, and I was never there. I was never there. He was there. He was there once. The one girl that worked there was robbed twice, and somebody else was robbed.
Oh God, that sucks for her.
She was a Taekwondo black belt, but if you do anything, you'll immediately get fired. You just have to let them rob you.
Yep.
That's if you're a Taekwondo black belt, I would have just like.
Yeah, the guy who's the assistant manager like literally ran after a guy like a half mile because he was like in shape, and they're like, "Yeah, what would you have done if you caught him? Because if you touch him, then he could sue you, and then you get fired."
What a great company!
Yeah,
but I would think once you're outside of the store's property, it would be okay.
Yeah,
yeah, but he was also like leaving work while on the clock.
Okay, true.
Happy Pro Day.
I can send you the video of the guy attempting to rob Ryan.
Oh God, please!
I'd actually love to see that.
Yeah,
because it's actually like the dumbest thing ever. For everyone listening, so Ryan, who does the comic show, is like 6'3", like he's black with dreads. The other guy working, his name was Breon, who's like 5'10", built like a brick shit house, also black. He like coached basketball teams in the area and has had kids go to the NBA. Like he's like a legit, like really good athlete. And this like 5'2" Hispanic guy came in. It's like, I get PS4 like at like 8:45 at night. And they're like, oh, okay. And then it's kind of like not policy to then lock the door behind them because like you're about to close. And then so Ryan brings it out and the guy grabs the PS4 and runs to the door and then just smashes into it because it's locked and falls backwards. And the two of them just look at him and he meekly like puts it back and he's like, I was just playing. And they're like, yeah, we're calling the cops.
That's great.
So, on the note of you working at GameStop, what was the grossest thing you ever found inside of a game?
Okay. This is great. So I will say first, I'll say the grossest thing I ever encountered. Then I'll say the grossest thing of somebody that I know ever encountered. So the grossest thing, me and the girl that worked there, Tori, because you have to clean up at the end of the night, we found a bunch of extensions on the floor.
Oh God!
Yes.
So you found a tumbleweave.
Yes. And then it turned into like trying to use stuff to throw it at each other and run away.
What is wrong with you?
And then, but at the same time, me and her would also like when people would call after we're closed, like, "Welcome to GameStop After Dark. How can I help you?" But the grossest
shoot Larry, please.
The grossest thing ever was the manager of that store was working, and so I have to explain. So it was in a strip mall, and next door was a Chinese food restaurant, and so people would sometimes come in our store to wait for their food. And so this old woman and her grandson came in while they were waiting for their food, and I guess she's following him around, and they're at the back of the store. And then all of a sudden she sprints to the front of the store and leaves.
Oh, no.
And yes, she did exactly what you think.
Yeah.
She shit herself and it went across the entire store. I will say it was from the window to the walls.
To the sweat runs down your ball.
Yeah, and they had to close the store. He had to call like the district manager because they have to get like not a hazmat, but they have to get like a professional cleaning done. So the store was closed for like a day. Plus they had to like call and get like pay to get it cleaned. And he was like, he had broken his foot there once, and he said this is the worst day I've ever had working.
Oh God.
Because he broke his foot. He climbed up like on top of the back counter to get something and fell off and broke his foot. And then he said, "This is the worst thing ever. I'd rather break my foot again than deal with this."
What a shitty situation.
Oh god.
See, I thought she was gonna vomit and leave it, but no, she trailed some caca.
I was waiting for something like, "Oh yeah, we found a bunch of cockroaches inside of a game case." Not some old woman shit herself. Normal.
How is that normal?
Bugs was normal. Finding like weed in stuff was normal.
Hell yeah.
Well, it's not like you could do anything with it. It was just like
someone like peed in a Xbox controller or something.
Yeah.
How?
The grossest normal thing ever, and this was on the 360 controllers because they're white. You know, if you hold up a 360 controller, there's like that groove that goes like bypass, it cuts the whole controller in half.
Yeah,
and that is the grossest thing ever.
Oh, dead skin. Yeah,
it's dead everything. It's just black death.
Dead dreams.
Like, oh god, it's just pure nightmare fuel. It was disgusting.
I can only imagine. PS3 thing, I scrape that out sometimes. I'm like, Jesus Christ, what am I doing with my life?
Yeah, there's definitely Ryan was the best and worst at saying, "I'm not taking this in." Like when people trade, it's like, "No, this is." He would just say, "No, this is too gross." And he would not be diplomatic, and he would always get in trouble. He's like, "You can't say that." He's like, "This shit was gross.
This shit be nasty."
Yeah, I mean, I worked at a UCD store for the longest time, and like we couldn't tell people like, "Oh, hey, this entire box of like Casey and JoJo CDs smell like cat pee." So no, we can't take these. Like we
was it just like 7 of their one single?
I was just using it because I can remember just terrible boxes of CDs popping up all the time. It would just be like, "Oh, this is covered in dust, tobacco, and what smells like cat urine." Like, sorry, we can't take this. Like
why does this Prince discography smell like chlorine? Wait.
It smells like those flowers outside.
Well, that is the one thing. Like, if you work in a strip mall GameStop compared to a mall, like the strip mall got so much worse stuff because you go right from the car to the store and you wouldn't be dragging it through an actual mall.
Ooh.
Yeah. That was the same thing with the CD store I worked at. Was like, we were on a strip mall, so we got all types of people in, including the people that would like go to 15 different stores with stolen things and hoping that the other stores hadn't called each other to tell them coming through. Yeah.
Wow.
So back to video games ostensibly. Has there been any interesting news that's dropped recently that's caught anybody's attention?
Huh.
I have one thing.
Bugsnax.
I know everyone's hyped for Cyberpunk, but did you see that they're doing a like tangential anime for it?
Yeah, by Studio Trigger.
Yeah, it's coming out for Netflix in 2022.
Yeah, it's Studio Trigger, the composer for Silent Hill, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's bizarre.
I hate putting this out there because it means it could make it a possibility. What if Cyberpunk sucks? That's my big concern.
Here's the thing. I don't think Cyberpunk is going to suck, but what I am concerned of is that it's going to mess up a lot with some of its themes and storytelling and stuff. Because I've been seeing, especially with like the trans community has kind of been like, don't know about this one, Chief. And I feel like they're going to stumble on that. But I feel like it'll be fun to play and all that stuff. But the story stuff, I'm a little scared of.
Here's the thing, Eric. Anything can suck.
Well, I get that. But I'm saying like this game looks like it's everything I want out of a first person game. Like it looks like it has an amazing story. It has all these options to make
customizable penises.
Exactly. Yeah.
One vagina option.
One vagina option, unfortunately.
Well, there's only so much you can do.
Can you get both?
Oh.
I don't know.
Like,
actually,
well, I mean, China had both, so. China the wrestler.
Thank God.
Thank you,
I knew what you were going at. All right,
China. Or Black China, which also would have been a surprise to me.
Oh no, no, she's just got really weird nipples.
I was gonna say I won't even say it because it'll get us in trouble.
No, let's not. Let's not do that.
Best to back away from that. But yeah, I feel like the biggest threat of Cyberpunk is that it might end up being a problematic fave rather than I can lose it wholeheartedly. But I have no doubt in my mind that it's going to be fun to play and stuff. I'm just really worried about because even like what's the Hispanic character's name? Forget his name. The big burly dude you see in the trailer.
I honestly forget.
I've even seen some issues with him where people are like, why does he have to say every third word in Spanish? That's not how Spanish.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. They're Polish. Like,
yeah, that's another thing.
That means that like they can mess it up real bad.
They could. They could. It could be disastrous. Don't get me wrong.
Like,
I'm just saying.
Being Polish only means so much when you have the money that the winner has given you to hire people of other backgrounds.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like
the last ones did that, so come on.
Yeah, I feel like there's always like a weird European thing where they don't get racial stuff in America. Like they just never do. So that's
Well, I mean, just look at like the '80s, the representation of Black people in anime. Like there's some real questionable and problematic things there. So
well, the thing is, like, shit, I forgot where I was going with this. But Cyberpunk, it's based on a tabletop game. Yeah.
Yep.
So I wonder how much of that is going to be from the role playing game itself being what it is. Because I don't know. I'm not 100% up to date on what the trans community thinks about Cyberpunk. And those in the
original board game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But the complaints are valid. Like I really am excited to play it, but I don't know. If it's problematic, it's problematic.
I mean, I'm also excited. If there's anything that I can think of being wrong, that's just what I could see being wrong.
Yeah.
Now it's not going to make it like it'll make it a hot button issue for people. I mean, it's the same thing where people love Persona 4, but that even had some issues with that stuff too. Mm-hmm. So it could be one of those.
All Atlas games have issues with that.
Yeah, a lot of Atlas stuff. Because even what's the one they just put out?
P5. Yeah.
Well, P5 I heard I didn't hear too much bad about, but I'm thinking of Catherine. That's the one.
Oh, Catherine. Yeah.
It's the special edition one.
Yeah.
They added that other character, Catherine with a Q.
Mm-hmm. Or it was Catherine with a Q. You're right. C, K, and then Q, which is I don't understand how that works. But yeah, they even had problems in that game too. And that got to the point where the love of the game kind of got overshadowed by that whole controversy.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of love for Cyberpunk. I just hope it doesn't get overshadowed doing bad stuff.
I also think Cyberpunk still needs to just come out and people can see. It's one thing to see things and hear like people who English isn't their native language, having it translated and then trying to describe what's going on. And that might not necessarily be what they're trying to say. Like it could be that it's actually handling the situation much better than people realize, but we don't know.
We won't know till it comes out, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I also think a lot of people don't get that for many things, as much as we have problems, like the US is much more forward thinking in these things than other countries. Even like we talk about in the comic show when we talk about anime, like anime has like a weird tropes that if you didn't know about it, like going into anime, it's like you'll be like, wait, what the fuck is going on? This character's 13? Like, what's happening?
Yeah, I've heard of some of that. Yeah, it's interesting. Cultural norms are different everywhere. Yeah. I'm not exactly sure what the cultural norms are in Poland, but you put it out in America, people are going to hold it to that standard. So whether or not it's fair.
The little bit of news that actually Lou, you'd brought up in the chat earlier was apparently well, no, it wasn't you, it was John actually, but you and I got talking about it a little bit. But Fable is apparently has a placeholder spot on Twitter right now.
Not just Fable, Perfect Dark as well.
Yeah, which no one was calling for. So
here's the thing. Here's what I feel about Perfect Dark. If it's Rare trying to make a game, I'm gonna buy it because it's Rare and I want them to make more games. So, but
not when they're done got burned.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Like Perfect Dark Zero was so bad. It was so bad.
Do you remember Wall Guy?
Was that a 360 launch?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and I remember like go ahead. Oh, I was going to say I remember I was reading EGM at the time, and like I forget who it was. I think it might be Dan Sue wrote a bad review of it, and like people were like, "But it's a 360 game. It's supposed to be amazing," and he's just like, "Nah, this is terrible. Like, what did they do?"
Someone needed a Haze equivalent on Xbox, and that had.
I'll
say about Perfect Dark. Perfect Dark could be a really amazing game because they have all these. They got all these developers here. You know, Playground Games is probably working, so I'm not even worried about that. But let's say they get someone like the Initiative on there, or God forbid, Double Fine, dude. If they get the right developer on there, they could do some cool shit.
Yeah, it's just I don't know what they could do with it to make it really interesting at this point.
I feel like it's been done.
Look, here's what you do, because literally they said this. They just said it about the wrong franchise. I was listening to Kind of Funny a while back, and Blessing had this great idea for what if Naughty Dog's next game, since they're not doing Uncharted 5, what if their next game was like a Mission Impossible type game? What if Xbox just did that for Perfect Dark?
Okay, all right.
Like a Naughty Dog style action adventure spy game.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that. If it's not just Perfect Dark.
Yeah, because I think that's a really good point, actually, to try and do something outside of the first-person mold, because that would throw people for a loop, I think, who care about Perfect Dark, however many fans that might be.
All three of them?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I think Rare has so many great IPs. I think people want to see them and would be excited, but they got to come back in some new way to excite everyone else.
They definitely they can't come back making Conquer as much as people love Conquer.
Don't they still own Banjo? So like
they do.
In a world where we're getting new Crash Bandicoot, why wouldn't they push it?
Well,
Banjo?
Here's the thing: they could easily do that too. Like they could remake Banjo 1 and then be like, "Oh, we're making Banjo 3." Like it's not crazy to think.
I don't know. I feel like the time for action platformers like that has kind of passed. Like,
you say that,
but there's Crash.
All the ones that come
there's
out,
Ratchet, my guy.
Ratchet is kind of different, though. Ratchet and Clank is a shooter as much as it is an action platform. But just my memories of Banjo-Kazooie were just it was too big and a little bit clunky.
But you were like 48 when that came out.
God, I was older than I am now when it came out. Good.
But like,
I don't know.
It would be a good thing. I feel like Microsoft doesn't have that game. Like we have Crash coming for PlayStation. That the Switch is made of those games. So like it would make sense for Microsoft to have a game in that.
Microsoft needs family games. Like straight up. Like they don't have a whole lot of them.
It's funny. I feel like they're the more family friendly of them and Sony.
Yeah. They don't have first party like kid friendly games.
They're sitting on old mine. They just need to come out with the third Blinks the Time Cat.
Oh wait, no, Eric, you don't even joke. I love that
too. Let's go. Get out of here, my guy.
Knack 3 featuring Blinks the Time Cat.
Oh God.
You joke, but I'd be there.
I would too.
For family games, I'm sure Double Fine's going to have that on. They're doing Psychonauts 2 right now. I'm sure I could easily see Rare giving them Banjo or just one of these family friendly things. I can see them with Conquer actually. I can see Double Fine making a PG-13 Conquer instead of going hard R with it.
Oh, I said Battletoads.
Ooh, Battletoads too.
They're making a new Battletoads loop.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah. That's why I was like, I think I heard they were.
But that's a remake of the original game.
Yes, it is.
I can see Double Fine doing like
I'll get to the speeder part.
Real one.
Just kill yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't know. And maybe it's just because I really only grew up with the Mario Brothers games being like the super successful action platformers, and that was about, or the just bouncing action platformers. Because like when Conquer came out, like I played it for a little bit, but I was like,
that game's not that great, honestly.
Well, it's because it was supposed to be like like a sort of Leisure Suit Larry.
Leisure Suit Larry. Yeah.
Leisure Suit Larry.
Having a stroke. Yeah.
Yeah.
Put your arm up.
That game. Yeah. But it was supposed to be like it's a horny platformer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think it's horny. Before I think about the sunflower titties, the shit.
Yeah,
I think
singing poop.
Yeah, the singing shit monster. I don't know. I just think Microsoft could use Banjo. Like, there's things they could do with him that would benefit them.
Yeah, I mean, it's also one of those things that I need to realize. Like, hey, guess what? Not every game is for you. Like, it's okay if you don't want to play something. Like, it's just I don't know. Whatever.
I mean,
it's Banjo-Kazooie.
If we're being honest here, Microsoft doesn't really need. They already have the greatest kid franchise of all time for all of these console manufacturers. With, of course, ignoring Nintendo stuff. They already got Sony beat because they have Minecraft as their lead.
They do.
platform.
They do.
Yeah.
Like
like that Mojang like acquisition they made is like the best deal they probably ever made. Like
Yeah, and it's a good thing they got it away from that guy because, dude, that guy sucks.
Oh boy,
oh.
He only gets worse the more I hear about him.
Oh god,
I don't know. I
don't know anything new about Notch. I just knew about the stuff that happened.
Long story short, he made a bunch of money and was like, "Oh, I can be shitty with no impunity because I'm rich." And it's like, "Wait, no," and then he's gone.
You hear the story about him and Jay-Z?
What?
So he bought a house from underneath Jay-Z.
Oh no!
And Jay-Z was like, "Yo, who the fuck is Notch?"
Now, was this when Jay-Z was already with Beyonce?
Yes, it was.
I would be more scared of Beyonce being pissed.
I would too.
Nah, Jay-Z got shooters, bro. Jay-Z got shooters. Beyonce has a hive. Like
I don't know.
The hive will end your actual life. Jay-Z will end your.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. I
it's
feel like
two-pronged
of
front.
those. I'm trying to think of those like old school rappers. I don't know if I'd still be scared of Jay-Z. Like,
I'm not scared of him now. I mean, here's the thing: Jay-Z paints me as like Godfather Part 3 phase, where he's not like a threat on his own, but if he really got it in him, somebody.
See, I think Jay-Z looks at Dr. Dre and is like, "Fuck, I wish I was that." Like
massive and intimidating.
Like, massive, intimidating, and like made all the money. Like Jay-Z is now part of Jay-Z Beyonce. Like he's stuck with that. Like he'll never be his own guy.
But I think he's also gone to enough therapy to be okay with that now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Also, he's made like billions of dollars, so I don't think he cares.
Yeah.
Once his wife made a "Fuck You for Cheating on Me" album, and he stayed with her, it's like, oh no, he doesn't have an ego. Like he's good.
Yeah, well, that, and I don't know. I feel like together, Jay-Z and Beyonce are a stronger team than Dre will ever be. Like they'll stay more relevant for a longer period of time than Dre has a chance.
Dr. Dre and Trent Reznor.
Is that? I think I remember Dr. Dre had some controversy back in the '90s with his girlfriend, but I don't know if he's with anyone now. I don't know if I care to look this up.
I don't. I'm sure he is with somebody, but he also made $1 billion.
Oh yeah, off of Beats. Yeah.
Yeah, because he owned the two different halves, and then like he was like, oh, he was one of the people that was gonna buy the Clippers, I think, and he was just gonna buy them flat out in cash, which is ridiculous. Like he's
bananas.
Yeah, like Jay-Z and Beyonce are very rich, but like Dr. Dre is like old money rich at this point.
Yeah.
I do want to circle back to Fable because I do want to talk about that. Because like it's kind of funny, like going back to what we were talking about with Cyberpunk. It's like Fable was like decades ahead of its time with letting you do whatever you wanted.
Yeah, you could fucking Fable.
Yeah, and anybody, because I played 1 and 2 a couple months ago, and I'm 1. I think 1's the first one that you can.
Yeah, you can bone down.
You can hook up, and you can hook up with as a man or woman with a man or a woman.
Yeah,
that's very progressive for that time.
Yeah.
Well, it's Peter Molyneux, and they kind of just let him do what he wanted to do. Because I mean, he made so much money for Microsoft off of what was it? Black and White was the name of the game he did.
Yeah, he probably knew what's up.
Yeah.
And it's like those games are still so playable. Like RPG, do whatever you want, build your guy however you want. And after 3, they did like that weird Connect game that was dog shit.
Oh,
and
you want to pet your horse?
Connectimals, right?
It was like Fable Adventures. They had a Fable Connect game.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah,
it was when everybody had. Remember, there was a Dragon Ball Z Connect game.
Yep.
Oh god.
There's a Power Rangers Connect game. It sucks.
What a surprise!
Can imagine.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, what would you want out of a new Fables game?
That kind of aesthetic and world, and just
a good game.
A good game. Like that kind of like goofy, like fantasy world where I could just do whatever the fuck I want. I want to be able to buy every piece of property and fuck all the people and marry them and then sacrifice them to the evil Dark Lord.
See, that's a
Christ.
I'll tell you what I don't want is what the end game of Fable 3 was, which is like, well, you better have enough money. Oh, if you don't, oh well, you can't get the good ending. And if you haven't been doing stuff from the very beginning of the game the right way, you're fucked. Like that was the one thing I couldn't stand about part 3 was like, oh wait, so because I haven't been buying property and jacking up the rent, I'm not going to be able to get the best ending to this game. Fuck
wow. What a Thanks, Peter Molyneux.
Like, don't get me wrong. What was that, Lou?
I don't even remember the ending because 2 is the one where you can resurrect your family, including your dog, resurrect the entire people that were killed or be rich. So, like,
wow.
Basically, the game was like, oh, you can either save your dog or save all the people. And it's like, yeah,
sorry, people, I don't know you. No, part 3 was like you take over as king and you find out that like the guy who was supposed to be the evil king was actually keeping this great evil at bay, and that's why he was such a terrible asshole, because he needed to build up enough money to, I don't know, pay it off, something. I don't know. I don't know exactly what the storyline was. But
what's funny is Fable 2's story is basically Enter the Spider-Verse.
It is, yeah.
What?
And it's fucking awesome.
Yeah. Like, it's literally the bad guy is doing exactly what Kingpin's doing in Spider-Verse.
Does YMB Corday have a verse? My God.
He might as well.
I will say I've never actually picked up the Fable games myself.
They're so good.
I remember people, it was either 2 or 3 people were making a big deal about when it came out, but I didn't have an Xbox until like last
I think it's 2.
2 is huge when it came out.
2 is like doing whatever the Xbox could do at its max.
Yeah,
I think.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like Xbox 360 games.
Yeah, it had like weapons that evolved as you use them. So like depending on like what you killed more, the weapon would look more like that particular enemy, stuff like that. And like having the dog being like a proto AI that would be able to find stuff and help you and do things like that kind of on its own. Yeah, like 2 was good, but honestly, I really enjoy the first one out of all. Like that's the one I have the most fun with.
I've never really played the first one.
Well, all 3 of them are on Game Pass.
Yeah, they're all on Game Pass. The first one I think has the best story.
It does.
But what limits the first one is the second one lets you do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah. You can buy condoms in 2. It's great.
Oh, it's a big part of the gameplay. It's how because you can have sex.
Buy condoms or use them or both.
You can both. Because there's STDs.
And
if you don't
have
condoms,
kids,
you can't have kids.
Yeah, you don't want. You got to get them profos. Yeah.
One of the achievements is having sex with every sex worker in the brothel.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be damned. I didn't know any of this was possible. This is wild. I didn't know it was sex.
He's a crazy guy.
I thought for some reason I had in my head that Fable was like a very like T-rated fairy tale.
No,
it is.
But they be fucking.
But they be fucking.
It's all presented in a very like cheeky British way though. Like that's the thing. So it's it'll be like, oh, you've got a condom, then you'll have some British narrator like using all type of antiquated words, basically like, say like, yeah, this will keep you from getting sick.
Some Jimmy's for your weapon.
Exactly. Yeah, some sort of ridiculous phrase that only the English know about. But yeah, it is definitely like a teenage like maybe edging towards a little bit closer to like 17 or 18.
It's like a fantasy version of Bully, in like
Yeah.
in like its aesthetic.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I can see that. And it does give you the opportunity to use both like magic and weapons very easily and on the fly, however you want to.
And
like
it feels good to control it too. It's not like
it's really like kind of like Mass Effect in like the way you can use weapons and magic.
Yeah.
It's about this. Is are these all connected to like one story between all three, or is it like completely?
No.
I think in one of them you're the kid of your character, in the other.
I don't know.
I think in 3 you're the kid of the character in 2.
Maybe. I know that the only connecting thread is the continent you're on.
Yeah.
Yes, Albion.
Yeah.
Oh, and there are small throwbacks to like the first one and the second one. Like there's mention of like that, what was it, the Jack of Knives or whatever the guy's name was, the main bad guy. Like they mention him a few times, and like you can find some like relics and like, I don't know, ruins of what used to be the Guild of Heroes from the first.
Yeah, they do the thing that Dragon Age 2 does, where it's like, oh, the hero of the past did the thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'll definitely have to install 2. It might sound like I can skip 1 because 2 is sounding a lot more appealing.
One story is so good though.
Yeah, no, I think 2 would be your best bet to start from, because it gives you the best stuff from, and is actually a good story too. And not that 1 isn't, but 1 still feels janky like any type of redo of an original Xbox game would be.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, now I got more homework to do. That's after Metroid.
Exactly.
And also, weirdly, 1 was the only one that was on anything but the Xbox.
Yeah.
1 was on PC also.
PC Master Race.
Oh God.
Yeah, I'll probably still play it on Xbox because I got that Game Pass, Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. It's the best thing they could possibly do for any system. Like that's I mean, I don't know, with the new systems, what's everybody?
Yeah, I feel you there.
Mm-hmm.
No, I like what particular system are people here leaning towards when it comes to the new systems coming out?
Oh, well, I really hate myself because I told myself I'm not buying the PS5 because I know my money's going to look funny by the time it comes out. So I was like, I'm not buying the PS5. I'm going to wait until they make a special edition white one because I know it's going to be a black box. And then lo and behold, it's a white box.
It's a white box.
Because all my other consoles are white. I wanted it to match. So I'm leaning towards PS5 because I'm a Sony pony. A lot of my favorite games are on that system. But I'm gonna have to wait a little bit because I know I can't spend probably $500 around the time.
Yeah,
I was gonna say 500. That's like you're waiting like a year later, right?
No, I can't see it coming out at 600. Here's the thing.
I thought they already came out with it being like 750.
It's not.
No,
that was okay.
Okay.
People were sharing that Play Asia thing, but like those are import costs. Like that's gonna be a little more expensive.
Yeah. No one at Sony is going to be stupid enough to get up on stage and say like, "We'll just get a part-time job system."
Oh yeah,
and then yell about giant enemy crab battle.
Yeah, it's just the fact that PS5 those are going to have actual exclusives, and Xbox already said the first year you can play everything on PC anyway. So just going to go with that.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I was thrust into the Microsoft like infrastructure just because my brother got me an Xbox One as a Christmas gift years and years ago, like when it first came out. So I was like, all right, well, I guess I'll take this since I have to buy a PS4 now. But I still want a PS system so bad. Like I need to play God of War, I need to play Spider-Man. And thankfully my wife was like, well, we don't really use our Blu-ray player at all because I buy almost everything digitally at this point. So I'll have enough to have both PS5 and the Xbox Series X on my mantle.
Hells yeah.
Not that I'm going to have the money for both of them right away.
Yeah. Ever since I built the PC, like I've kind of been just leaning towards just getting a PS5. Like, because like I can play all the Game Pass games on my PC. Like, it's not...
Well, that's the great thing about Game Pass. Like, even though my Xbox died, I can play half the games on my PC still.
Yeah.
I don't know, because I haven't seen anything that's coming out for Series X that really makes me need to get it right away.
We'll know in a couple weeks.
Yeah,
That's true.
Also, has there been any updates of like the impact of like Corona on all of these productions of these PlayStations?
No, they're still coming out on the holiday, as far as I know.
I mean, I would imagine the production had been ramped up to such a point that they were at least putting out the first batch of them.
I'll say that I've been car shopping the last week and got a new car, and they're pushing new cars back almost 6 months.
Yeah,
damn.
Because they're supposed to, new cars come out like at the end of the midsummer and summer, and they're like, most places are saying, yeah, we're not going to get 21s until December.
Oh God,
that's crazy.
That's if the world is even normal by then.
Exactly. Thanks, Texas. And
I will say for the Xbox event, along with all these rumors about Fable and Perfect Dark and all that, I have been hearing that this event where they're planning on unveiling all like the big swing where Halo gets revealed and all that, that probably won't come out until the end of next month. So it might not be until the 20s or something of July by the time we do that, which is going to be just eons away. By then, we'll probably be looking forward to another PlayStation event because they got more to show too.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing with PlayStation. Like this last event, like they showed some cool stuff, but I feel like they weren't showing their heavy hitters with that. No, and that's what I'm really curious to see.
I think a lot of this is just them playing chicken with each other because it's like, if you look at the last PS5 event, they didn't really show a whole lot, and they didn't even show a price point.
Hell, they didn't even show the system initially, did they?
They showed the system
right at the end.
Okay,
like, that was their, and that's not all type.
Well, I think like the price point is like something that they've like not these two companies, but like they've always done in the console wars. Like after reading that book, the console wars book, it's like, oh, like the price point. I think they're waiting for one of them to like say a point, so the other one can say $20 cheaper.
Yeah.
See, it's so hard to do that because I remember last time for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, they announced it on the same day, but because it was, they did. I think it was Xbox announced first and PlayStation. There was only like a couple of hours separating those, so no one had a chance to change anything.
Well,
really.
I think the rumors for what the prices were kind of already abound at that point, and because of the Kinect, everyone knew that the Xbox One was going to be $100 more.
Yeah,
because they had basically always said the Kinect was $100 thing, and that is why the Xbox One sold like dog shit in the beginning.
Well, there was also a whole lot of other things that made the Xbox One sell like dog shit. Like,
all their dumb bullshit when they came out. Like, you can't borrow games and rent them or trade them in.
Oh, this is the water cooler.
I had to deal with those questions 5 years later from people.
Christ.
Yeah.
Imagine.
Well, is there anything else anybody to bring up or talk about game-wise that they've noticed or heard about, interested in, or do we want to wrap it up?
I mean, I'm gonna keep it real with you. Every other news story that I can think of to talk about is negative.
It's not fun. It's not fun. I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, so
I'm saying Assassin's Creed one. I was like, "Wait, what happened?" And I clicked it. I was like, "Oh, no."
Yep.
Yeah.
A lot of Ubisoft.
Oh, clean up the entire company.
Lord have mercy.
God,
they're French, right?
Yes.
Yeah. But like, a lot of that happening is in America. But I'm gonna keep that away from the fun podcast vibe.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that right now.
Yeah, if you want to know what's up with that, just go on Twitter and look at any corner of games
and wait 5 minutes.
God.
Yeah,
it's already bad enough in the comic book world. Just what I need is the other thing I use to escape from this horrible.
Oh no!
Yeah,
I heard wrestling was getting a lot of it too. So.
Wrestling's been getting it hard.
Yeah, wrestling. I think everyone has been waiting for that because it was like, I know I talked about this with Connor in like one of the chats. It's like. Anyone that grew up watching the Attitude Era, you're just like, yeah, of course. When are we going to hear all the news?
Yeah. And it's sorry, I apologize for the way I worded that a minute ago. It's not that I'm just like, oh, I can't believe this is happening. It's more like, oh, this is such a bummer. This has been going on and it's now just coming to light. Like it's good that it's coming to light, but it's just like
the comic one really hurt.
It's like it's for all of this. It's about time, yes, but it's like God, all at one time. Like you never thought it was so much. It's just like, oh man,
Grant Morrison, please.
Oh yes, please. No,
please.
Not my sweet Scottish boy.
If that happens, I'm quitting comics forever.
Jesus Christ.
Well,
I'm
all right.
praying for everyone.
with that, almost could have gone down to the negative note. I've been Eric Fedorchak. You've been enjoying us talking about video games for this past 2 hours or so.
Damn.
If you want to find anything that I do, you can find me on Instagram at _Fedor. There's pictures of dogs and cats and comics and food. I'm also floating around the Phantom Zone, doing my thing there, and just keep fighting the good fight, people. Like, just if you can't get out to protest, donate. If you can't donate, do your research and slather whatever social media you use with the information. Exactly. Sign petitions, make people aware. Don't stop the full court press. Just keep it in the public zeitgeist, because when people start forgetting is when things stop happening.
Yep.
And there's so many good charities. Like, I've heard so many interesting ones, like therapy for Black women, or what was the other one? It was like bail, like a fund for bail for people who are protesting. Is a great one.
Also, if you are going to donate to Black Lives Matter, make sure you donate to the right group, because there has been a felonious Black Lives Matter group that's floating around, and they're doing things where they're trying to be happy in front of the police, and no. So just do your research before you make a donation, if you are going to make donations. So
yes, indeed. Check where your money's going. That's the bare minimum, I guess. But yeah, a lot of fun stuff around that. Even the protests on that are still very, I was going to say heating up, but they never got cold. So
no, it's just the media has stopped paying attention to them. Is all it is. Yeah. So who wants to go next after that wonderful note?
I guess I'll go next, since the topic is about Black people anyway. So hi, here I am. Well, I'm Emmet Watkins Jr. Y'all been here. You can follow me over at Twitter. EJSpun61 is me there. I do a lot of stuff for VGU.TV. Make a lot of podcasts there, and I'm starting to write articles now, which is something I haven't done in a minute. But go ahead and look out for that stuff. I got a YouTube channel too, but mainly the VGU stuff is there, and Twitter for all of my hot takes and bullshit. So pop up over there. And that's all I got. Who wants to grab the mic?
Don't follow me on social media ever. Let's see, what else? I had something, I forgot it already.
About how Harry Potter movies are bad?
Okay. Yeah, Harry Potter movies are bad, and I'd rather watch The Matrix. I'd rather watch the last two Matrix movies are better than any Harry Potter movie. What else?
I'll co-sign that.
Oof, rough.
Never seen Harry Potter movie, so I don't care.
That's okay. No people of color in them.
There is one serious black guy. Wait.
He's white. He's white.
There's a black student, but he's a bad guy, and there's an Asian girl, but she's a rat. And then they retcon and whitewash another character, a black girl.
Yeah, they did when she was supposed to be interested in Ron. Girl.
They turned a black girl into a ginger.
Also, go listen to like Secret Sessions. Go listen to Movie Dumpster. Go listen to all the other shows that our friends do. Like, just go out and support them. Like, don't listen to us. Actually, listen to us, but also listen to others.
If they heard that call, then it's too late. They're 2 hours in, and you told them not to listen.
One of those shows is the show I do. So it's comics, the comic show. We talk about comic books, all that kind of news. Which, since there hasn't been much because of all this stuff going on, we started doing like Watch Party, where we are kind of doing a riff track kind of thing. So we watched for you one of the worst movies I've ever seen, Artemis Fowl.
Oh God!
And before that, we watched Blade Trinity, which you could just hear me making fun of and being angry at Triple H's existence. And our next thing, in honor of the dearly departed, we are doing Batman and Robin for Joel Schumacher.
Nice.
So check that on all the other shows, the Smallville Chronicles, and and you can follow me at young_kami on Twitter and Instagram.
I changed it specifically so you wouldn't do that anymore.
_kami. It just sounds like just a Soviet Union mixtape.
Yeah, it is. That's nice.
Send me all your gift requests.
Yeah, send me all your furry stuff.
Send him all your Moon Knight furry photos.
Send me all your Ratchet and Clank girl character. All ripped apart pictures.
Send me your ratchet pictures.
I was just saying, send me your Conqueror flower boobs pictures.
I think my favorite tweet of all time was somebody during that PlayStation event going, "I give it 5 minutes," and then like posting a picture of the girl Ratchet.
Oh no!
Yep, literally the night of that event, I already had a wall. Let's fucking go.
All right, everybody. Hope you've enjoyed yourselves. Goodbye.
Bye.
Yes.